Hi, I'm Grandma Tarot. Welcome to my Beginner's Tarot Card Readers channel, where your intuition gets to be your BFF. Now, I would like for you to imagine that you're sitting across the table from a querent who has a question and wants their tarot cards read. And so you've got the whole spread out now, only to discover that there's two cards missing. And you don't know why. Well, where are they? Why don't you have them? You should have them. Those two cards are very important because without them, you don't get the whole picture. And I'm talking about the root and the roof cards, the above and the below. Just two more cards. And with those two more cards, you could have one powerhouse of a reading. Let's talk about the root card. The root card is like the basement in a house. It holds the structural integrity of the house. It holds the plumbing, in many cases the electrical, all kinds of very important things that go to the functioning of the house. And it can be found in the basement. So if there's a problem with the plumbing in the basement, you're going to smell it. Let's take a scenario. Let's say that you're at a party with your friends. You're in the living room. You're having a wonderful time. But you can't help but notice a smell. It's like a mildewy smell. And it feels a little damp in the house, but you don't know what to say. You don't want to ruin the party. But no matter what you say or do or feel or try to talk yourself out of, it is interfering with the good time that you're having. That can happen. Let's take another basement scenario. Let's say, okay, you're sitting there with your friends, no moldy smell, nothing like that, but you're having a good time and you're listening to some wonderful music. That's your favorite artist, your favorite song, and you find out through your friend later, she mentions that she has a brand new sound system in the basement and it's all coming up from there and it is so magnificent. So you see, good stuff can come from the basement. And smelly stuff can come from the basement. But it's important to pay attention to what's coming from the basement because that is a message. Okay, so now let's talk about the above, the roof card. The roof card is like the sky above your house. Say you open your window to take a look at the sky to see what kind of weather we're going to have today, because that will let you know if you should open your windows and let the air in and the sunshine in, or if you should close your windows and protecting yourself from the upcoming weather. So it is a way of knowing what the theme is going to be that day. What's it going to be like? Because the roof card influences the entire reading. It is the strongest influence that influences the question that your query asked. It could even be thought of as like the oversoul that overlooks the entire spread. So when you combine the roof and the root, compacting the entire spread, you're going to get one dynamite reading. Important to understand that the root and the roof just add to what the reading is telling you. So in between those two cards, the above and the below, you will have your spread. Read your spread with the filter of knowing what the weather's like and what the basement's like. And more important even than that, always keep the question in mind. And what is the question? The question, it was important when you were dealing. The question should have been on your mind as you were throwing the cards. The question should be on your mind as you read the cards. The question is very important. And the root and the roof help you with that question. Okay, so just remember that you will be telling tarot how you're going to be doing the cards. I'm going to do 3 cards, whether or not you're going to do the 3 piles and that you're going to have a roof and a root. And as long as tarot knows what you're up to, it can go right along with you. Okay, so we've shuffled the cards. Let's bring this down. The first card, second, and third. And then we're going to put our roof. And this is my basement. Some people also call this the bottom of the card, of the deck, the bottom of the deck card. I also like to refer to it, when I was first learning about the root card, I learned by thinking of this as like the super soil in a garden. What any gardener will know and tell you is that if you, whatever you expect as far as your crop is concerned, is going to depend a lot on your soil. So a lot that happens through your spread is going to depend a lot on your root card. Okay, so we're going to read this spread. Now what we've got here, first of all, you do what you always do when you start a reading. You pay attention to what you see, what you feel, and what do you know. Now, there might be some cards you know right off the bat what they mean, and there might be that you don't know what any of them mean. And that's when a pull card really comes in and helps a lot. Which card is pulling you? If there's a card that's getting your attention more than the other cards, and we covered the pull card in another video. So we're going to talk about it very lightly here, but whatever card is jumping out at you, like, wow, that one looks interesting, then that would be your pull card. In my experience with this particular spread, well, the way I'm reading this one is the pull card for me is this, is the sad card. When we're asking about a relationship, that's a pull card. It's like, why? Okay, so, and then the second, that is what I see. Now, how do I feel? Because I happen to know what this card means, I feel it in my body, in my gut. Okay, so you've done the pull card. The second step would be to pay attention to the root card. And in this case, the pull card and the root card is the same card. So, and that's okay. That's been known to happen. And then so just don't try to read it yet, because you really do need to see more before you can decide what that root card or pull card means. But just notice and see what you have here. The second step in reading a tarot card spread is to what do you feel? This is what you see. Now what do you feel? What's the overall feeling? Let your intuition guide you right there. During the what do you see, what do you feel, and what do you know part stage, let your intuition get involved, because that's sort of like an invitation. When you start thinking, what do I see? What do I feel? What do I know? That's sending out an invitation. If your intuition hasn't already joined you, it is joining you now, because that's the invitation. So you want to pay attention to the root card. Does it feel stable? Does the root card feel stable? Or does it feel like it's shaky, or sitting on shaky grounds? Or does the root card feel inspiring or stormy? Okay, and then what do you know? Well, you know that the pull card is pulling you to ask why. Look at the root. Is it a major arcana? Is it a court card? Okay, and what is this suit? Okay, we haven't really covered these things in my videos yet, but the very next video after this one will be called What Do You Know? Which is going to be about what about the major arcana, what about the court cards, and what about the suits. And so we're going to learn about that. But in case some of you do know what those things already mean, well, let it register. Just notice major arcanas. Notice there's 2. Court cards, there's none. The suit, we got cups and swords and more cups. So we know this has something to do with feelings and emotions. Once again, this is going to go in our very next video talking about the different suits and what they mean. But for now, let's just focus on the root card. The root card is the why. Remember that. This is what's going on. If you're a gardener, you knew that your crop is as good as your soil, and this is going to make a big difference about the query's real question. So if someone, for example, is asking about a new job, and the root card is like the Two of Cups, let's say this one here was here instead, then the why really isn't about money, right? It would be for a deep desire to have a partnership and connection to the workplace. Okay, so that's what a Two of Cups would mean if it was in the root position. But it's not. What we have there is the Five of Cups. Now the Roof card encompasses the energy of the question and highlights what's influencing the spread. So once again, the question is, what am I learning through this relationship? Okay. So if you have a spread, for example, that looks really difficult, say you've got some really bad cards, what they call bad cards, those scary cards, but say the Roof is the Star, then it means that even though the work is hard, the weather is hopeful and healing can be yours. Okay, so let's do this spread. Let's read it. Let's pretend that the querent is sitting there right in front of us, and this is what we're dealing with here. Now, we have the Root card, which is also the Pull card. And remember, the Pull card is just to get you started, to kick you in the gear. And if the Pull card happens to be the same thing as the Root card, that's okay. So there, you've got one card here that's going to kick you in. And that kicking in, to me, anyway, as I'm reading the spread, is that there is some heartbreak here, something, a loss, and something that is causing some unhappiness. So if the Root card is unhappiness, this is where the rest of everything is growing out of. So this tells me right off the bat that we're dealing with a past that has some sadness in it. And now we're going into the reading of the cards. We've got this person, and the Six of Swords means that we're going to, the querent is moving out of troubled waters or out of a conflict. So you want to let her know that she's coming out of it. She's going through a transition. She's coming through the Justice card. You don't have to tell her that part. I'm telling you that part. But this is what she's going through. The Justice card is known as a choice card. So it is, you're making a choice, and you're making a fair judgment, and it is honest, and especially honest and true to you. The honest choice and the decision that it looks like you're making, the querent, is that you're choosing to come out of the conflict, out of the sadness, and into a place of communication and connection. So you want that experience, you want that relationship to go that direction. Remember the question, what am I learning through this relationship? What the querent is learning through the relationship is that despite the past, despite the pain, she can move through it. She can get through the troubled waters. She can make a very powerful choice. And that choice is, do I want what's best for me, or do I want to go back to this kind of mentality and heartfelt experiences? Or do I want to go forward? And do I want to learn how to connect and communicate and get along with either my workplace or my significant other? So you're really looking to connect and get along. And then, of course, you've got the Roof card of the Star, which means that you are going to choose the outcome. And this third card is the outcome card. So this is what the highest potential is. The highest potential here is that you will make this right decision. So that is what you're reading for the querent. The Root and the Roof and the message in between, and see how they all eventually become connected. It is a little bit more than a 5-card spread. It is a root and a roof that's giving you some valuable information that a regular 5-card spread would not do. And the reason it does this is because you've notified tarot, you've notified your intuition what you expected from those 2 cards, and it will be delivered. Well, thanks a lot for joining me today. I'm sorry I keep coughing. Allergies are still with me. They're going away. As far as the sniffling and the blowing of my nose, that's gone. But I want to really thank you very much for being in my channel with this particular spread. You really help a lot when you subscribe and when you push like and when you make a comment. These things really help my channel, help me in helping you. So if you could please just do that. Push like and subscribe and go down to the comments and give me a question so that then your next reading we can incorporate your question to the reading and we can use your spread for practice. So remember, in the next video, we'll be working on what do you know, the part of delineation that's very important as far as what you've learned, what you've heard, what you've seen on the internet. All that comes together in the what you see and what you feel and what you know. So I hope to see you at the next video. Thank you for being here. And remember, the 2 cards, the above and the below.